And if the head is sick, the body is ill. Now I didn't say that about the good, right honorable Hubert Ingram now. I don't believe some of that stuff, but let me personally say that I have a right to my personal opinion. I personally don't believe it. I don't know what you all believe. Calvin, I don't know if you want to evaluate the F&M government or the good prime minister.
Man, I ain't got no problem with the government, none of the parties. I got a problem with the people. I don't feel they smart enough to be voting in this country. Reason being, everyone go election day, they vote PLP, F&M, 50 years of voting, right? But the two parties playing the same trick for 50 years on them. They wouldn't give Cassius a chance. They wouldn't give Mario a chance.
Now,
all these independent parties.
Now, see, I have a problem. I have a major problem with these independent candidates. They have no balls. They have no loins. They have no integrity. They have no standard. Take, for example, the Dr. Rollins. See, I don't want to go there, but I have to go there. 4 a.m. last year, just before I about to get married. 4 o'clock in the morning, Dr. Rollins and what's the other guy named? Renwood Wells sitting in my house. Yeah. Utah, we need you to do a commercial. 4 a.m. we sat down, I did this commercial. So I said, let me ask the question. Dr. Wells, what if Ingram would have kicked you over the bone? What if Mr. Christie would offer you a dog biscuit? Would you quit on the NDP that you formed? Would you leave them in the wilderness? He swore that he would never leave the NDP, that this was his dream, this was his baby he had given birth to. And now what should I see? I turn on my TV. Oh, Andre Rollins has now joined the PLP. You know, the chicken has now come home to roost. What sort of integrity? How can I respect that? Many people ask Cassius Stewart, the NDP, come, let's join together. Let's become one. Cassius Stewart doesn't want to do that. One man alone is not an island. So I can't. And you mentioned Cassius, I got a bitter taste in my mouth. Let me get a candy or something.
You got it?
Go ahead.
Okay, my opinion on that, right? Andre Rollins is a personal friend of mine. Cassius is a personal friend of mine, right? And I don't take sides. I tell you the way it is. I encourage Andre Rollins not to join the PLP or F&M. I tell him he's a young, educated brother who could lead this country if he chooses, right? He may be scared to take a chance, which and he show it, you know? And Cassius, I think his only problem is ego. He won't be the leader.
You like his ego?
His ego, because if you care for a country, it ain't about you, it's about the country. And the only way they could win, to unite with other parties and small parties and get the numbers to win the majority seats. He chose not to do that because it's a leadership problem, right? So, if he put it aside and try win, if he don't put it aside, he can't win. But it's still up to the people. I see it like this. The Bahamians only vote PLP and F&M. And the PLP and F&M realize that these fools vote for us. We don't have to do nothing for them.
So it's really about dividing and conquering.
Yeah. So if the people stand up and say, man, let's give independent a try, and the PLP and F&M come to the realization that they're losing voters, they can do something, right? But no one even trying to go different. Everyone is just PLP, F&M.
What qualifies somebody to become a candidate? What qualifies somebody to be my representative in the House of Parliament? A lot of people come to me, oh, Utah, you doing a good job, you this, you doing that, you should run. I know nothing about political science. Why do you want me to run? I can't run this country. I didn't study political science in school. So we have to be careful about those who we want to put to lead our country.
You realize in 41 seats, right? I don't think none of them study political science. They lawyers.
Call some names. Let me know who you think ain't qualified to be in house.
Whoever's a lawyer, they study one thing, to lie and thief. You see what I'm saying? They don't build this country. This country is falling from 1967. This was going backwards. You know what I mean? They get something great and everything crumbling. Now they getting loans from here, loans from there. The Bahamas break. We don't have nothing. Sun, and sea gone.
But let me ask
you, go get everything now.
Let me ask you this question before I go on, right? You serious? Because a lot of people have been saying it and it's disturbed me. Do you seriously believe that Hubert Ingram is trying to crash, to burn the Bahamas? This is what people are saying.
I don't think he's trying to crash it now. He just ain't smart enough to build it.
When you look at the wisdom, see, a lot of people don't know, boy, Hubert Ingram is a sharp man. A lot of people do not know of the accomplishments of the F&M that has moved us forward as a nation. So if a man we having this show now because of Mr. Hubert Ingram. He opened up the airwaves, freedom of press. There's so much stuff the F&M has accomplished. So I cannot say that he ain't sharp enough.
We having this show. He accomplished so many things, and he failed on too many things. Tell me something. What we have to go on in this country, different from tourism? If the cruise ship don't come, the revenue gone, right?
Well, we make a little bit of money from banking.
Yeah.
Banking. What we provide? We got all this sun, sea, all this farming. You got the Florida Grove and Andres, right? They renting the property and taking all the fruits back to the States. Why we can't go them?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? And these the prime minister you put they ain't making nothing grow. What they building?
I always say, if I were to run and I would become prime minister, I would create a ministry of entrepreneurship. And a young businessman like you, Calvin, here at the barber, with a vast amount of passion, let me use that word, passion to be successful, I would invest in you. I would say, Calvin, come and see me. Here's $500,000. This is a startup. Let me see what you can do with this $500,000. I don't talk about going to the development bank for a small measly 50 grand or 10 or 30 grand.
500 grand.
I say here's 500 grand. This is just a startup. What can you do with that?
I like what you're saying though, because then you come right back and burn Hubert Ingram up.
Well, I ain't taking those sides now.
Right? You saying what you'll do. So why Hubert ain't smart enough to do these things?
See, everyone has their time, His era, I think Hubert Ingram has accomplished what God put him here to do. So Lyndon Pinland accomplished what God put him there to do. Perry Christie, did he accomplish anything?
Nothing.
Well, I'm not sure. He may have accomplished.
Nothing.
So,
the road race, pile the party, nothing.
But you have to know when it's time to say good night. You have to know when you have had that last drink. You have to know when it's time to bow out gracefully or be carried out kicking and looking like a fool. And I believe Hubert Ingram, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, has a bit more fight in him. I honestly do.
Why? If you have any fight, you need to take that to the old folks home. That's the wrong place, man.
All right, we being joined by some other people here in the barber shop. We talking about the way the country is being run. We talking about the BTC privatization. Later on, we could be talking about Bahama, the Chinese coming here. We're gonna see a lot of mixed babies.
Get plenty to talk about. How much is that? 8,000, right?
Yeah.
No.
8,100?
But before we hold on, before we allow, we're gonna allow this gentleman to comment, right? But let me educate. Sit back a little bit. Let me educate the Bahamian people a little bit on cable and wireless. Cable and Wireless is a global telecommunication company with operations in Central America, Asia, Europe, and Africa, as well as in a number of islands similar to the Bahamas around the world. So what they're saying that Cable Bahamas is the best outfit. You remember the Cable and Wireless. You remember the Cinderella story? Did the shoe fit the foot? Well, they're saying the Bahamas foot, Cable and Wireless fits it. It has 3.6 billion in assets, 2.5 billion revenues, a very low level of debt relative to most of its peers, and almost 1 billion in shareholders' equity. It operates in 38 countries, 13 of which are the Caribbean. It has 8.3 million mobiles, 1.8 million fixed line, and 600,000 broadband customers. Wow! And on that note, I can tell you that you can readjust that camera over there, and let's we can talk with this man. Let's come on over, man. It's done.
Come to all boy.
Let's talk, man. Let's talk. Come on, pull up a chair.
In the meantime, though, I want to ask you a question. With all of that said, will that contribute to more services available to the Bahamian people and less prices?
The Bahamian people will be afforded a vast amount of services. I mean, BTC have some good workers, and I must say, while on this show, I must clap my hand to Miss Tony at BTC. I must clap my hand to Miss Allen. Miss Allen at BTC. They are trying very hard to make sure that that you get the good service and you get a good quality product service.
I want to Miss Sanders too at the JFK branch. Excellent service. Along
But I
with her
am
colleagues.
upset, Jelani,